Hi, this is Queen Prophetess. This is our Talkback Tuesday. I am so glad that you're joining in with me today on this Talkback Tuesday. And today we are going to talk about, again, relationships. We have been talking about that for the last Talkback Tuesdays. So I think we're going to kind of stay on that topic and we're going to just elaborate more in detail on different aspects and different topics that deal with relationships. So today, when we're talking about our relationships, we're just going to talk about, when relationships get hard, you know, when they get hard between two individuals that say they have come together to be reunited, whether it's in matrimonial or whether it's just two people finding that relationship and that connectivity and they're connecting together as one. So let's talk about when they get hard, because when it starts off, everything seems glorious, it seems good, it seems like, oh, this is it, and then sometimes you go back and you try to go back to like that elementary love that you thought you had. You try to go back to that middle school or to that high school love that you thought you had, but you get those like that puppy love thing, you know what I'm saying? So you go back to that and you're like, okay, why is it not like that? So that's what I'm saying. It's not always going to be the way that you think it's going to be, and sometimes relationships, they get hard. So when they get hard, what do? Do you stand or do you fall? Do you run or do you walk? Do you deal with it or do you reject it? What do you do when the relationships get hard? So if you thought that was the person for you and it started to get a little hard, so what do you do now? Do you go back to reminiscing how it used to be, and then you allow those feelings and those memories to bring something and to bring some type of satisfaction when it gets hard? Or do you just continue to go and you continue to steer away because things have gotten a little hard? But if you know that deep down on the inside that was the one for you, and you can feel something that it runs so deep that you just cannot shake, then when those days and those times get hard, then you'll be able to go upon yourself and you'll be able to talk to God about those things. You'll ask him for guidance. You'll ask him for, what do I do next? Which road do I take? Or what turn do I make? Do I go left or do I go right? Do I go backward or do I go forward? So you have to be mindful of when you get into relationships and the times get hard. What do you do when the times get hard? Do you fold or do you keep on moving? Do you go backward or do you go forward? Do you go up or do you continue to go down? So what do we do when those relationships get hard? I am so glad that you tuned in with me today on this Talkback Tuesday, and we were talking about relationships. Oh, that is so great. So I am so glad that you have been joining in with me since I started doing these talks or these every day of the week topics. I am so glad that you tuned in. So if you have anything that you want to jot down or anything that you want me to elaborate on, feel free to do so. And again, this was our Talkback Tuesday where we're talking about relationships and what do you do when it gets hard. Tomorrow we will have our Wisdom Wednesday. Oh, we love Wisdom Wednesday because you can never get too much knowledge, and when you get that knowledge and then you start to retain that thing and you start to just put it in your head and it starts to build up and build up and build up, and then you can go back when you need to reflect back on it, then guess what? That's wisdom. That's why we have Wisdom Wednesday, because you always can learn from somebody else. So until we meet again, I am so glad that you tuned in. I am so glad. Again, enjoy your day.